Hey man, what is going on? So like I said in part 1, the building of the rest of this was not as well organized or thought out as the original frame was, and unfortunately neither was the filming of it. So a lot of the filming is just me hidden up in here doing things, so I edited a lot of it out. I just wanted to give you an example of pretty much what you'd be watching if I didn't edit it out. I foam insulated all of the corners, any place air can get in. I don't think I did that bad of a job, but I have never done it before. The bottom you can see is pretty fucked up. It's a little bit explosive. I think next time I'll be a little bit less generous with my sprays. So in putting up the insulation, it really wasn't that difficult. It does come with a caveat. Wear clothing that covers your skin. It irritates it very easily and you get itchy. Also wear clothing you don't like. I ended up wearing a sweatshirt that I do like, and now I can't seem to get the fiberglass out of it. If you know how to get fiberglass out of clothing, please leave a comment at the bottom to explain to me how this works, because I've tried to wash it now and it literally came out the same, and I'm almost at the point where I'm just going to use duct tape like I'm waxing fiberglass from the sweatshirt, because I don't really have any other options. But I would really like to know, and I would appreciate that. Yeah, anyways. Another thing is I'm not sure if horizontal or vertical insulation is more effective, but I did both in different parts because it was easier in certain ways. I don't know why I didn't do it in some other places too. I think it was like a gapping thing, but it turned out to be okay. I'm going to throw black and white poly over it because I have a whole roll, and so I just looped it around. I can make it look as messy as I wanted because I'm going to go cut it up and duct tape it and clean the duct tape. And so that you understand, I stapled the black and white poly to all of the posts, and then I duct taped over the staples, and then I stapled over the duct tape, and then I duct taped again. So I got like lasagna of duct tape and staples in there. So I'm hoping it holds really well. That is my active aqua flood tables, the 29-inch ones. They have the perfect amount of space for about 8 plants each. I don't know why I left the eye hooks in there, because I started using these L aluminum channel things. I also wanted to do a recirculating air system, and so it pulls out of the carbon filter and goes through the icebox through a hyper fan and reduces down. I do know that it causes a lot of turbulence reducing like that, and that was kind of the point, because I wanted more air being pulled out than pushed in, so I have negative pressure. But if it's equalized, then it's neutral pressure, which is just as good as negative pressure for what I'm looking for. And the way I plan on redistributing the air is with these duckbill fin nozzles. They come with every Eco Plus pump you've ever bought, but they also are really good at moving air because they screw right into a 1/2-inch NFT and create like an even line spray that can be angled in any direction, which will allow me to not have to use fans to move air, and it'll also create a lower profile for a little bit more growing room. I definitely will have to add a few more because I don't feel that the movement of air is sufficient at the moment. Hanging the lights was pretty self-explanatory. I do want to explain there will be another video on the lights, but if you never watched that, just know I'm running these at 1400 milliamps, so I'm really under running them. I don't need a heatsink. I should have one, but I don't need one. I'm also dimming them down to like 9 or 10%, so I don't feel like the heat from them will ever be that crazy. I also ended up remotely mounting all of the drivers, the 2 drivers. I also use DC clips to make sure that I can disconnect the lights at any time whenever I need to, and then also connecting them to remote dimmer, which is right there in the middle, that comes from Pacific Light Concepts. I definitely should have done a neutral wire, and I didn't. So I'm hoping that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. I don't think it will, but I should have been safe than sorry, and I wasn't. So now I'm fingers crossed is really how the situation goes. I try to make it look as clean as possible. I also, organized all the wires, got all that stuff going on. I do want to talk real quick about that little ice box that you're going to see in a second, because it's going to pan down. That thing was really popular. I want to say like in 08, I got on OfferUp or Craigslist or one of those. I got 4 of them for like $80, and I've been just hoarding them. And this is the perfect time to use them because I have a scientific water chiller that gets down to 2 degrees Celsius that I can put propylene glycol and water in and just freeze the shit out of these rooms. So I don't actually need a AC. So thank you for watching that. We'll get to part 3. That'll either be the lights next week or the plumbing, but I can kind of leave it up to you what you guys would rather see, either the lights or the plumbing, and then in the comments when I find out I can post it. But until then, guys, remember, grow it funky, keep it fresh.